Hey YouTube, how's everyone doing? I'm not doing too badly myself. I had some free time on my hands. Figured I'd film this review. I'm going to keep it short though, 3 to 4 minutes. I won't chew up too much of your time. This next review is going to be of the Colorado grindcore band Call of the Void's debut LP titled Drag Down a Dead End Path. These guys are actually a Relapse Records band that have never released any material before this album. Everyone was waiting for what these guys could do, seeing as how they were signed to the super label Relapse. I don't think any of us were disappointed when this album finally came around. It blends elements of grindcore, crust punk, and even death metal in a very tasteful way that leaves you without wanting anything extra by the end. The first song, entitled Failure, includes a 1.5 minute intro full of crazy drum beats, and just serves as sort of a hype song for the rest of the album, which I know personally always helps with a sludgy grind album such as this. It's always just a great way of pumping you up for the rest of the album. Immediately the second song, Theory of Mind, begins. The band jumps straight into violent grindcore, which results in complete audio fist fucking, and maintains this feeling for the duration of the album. Not until the third track, entitled Bottom Feeder, do we get the first impression of some real heavy sludge in the second half. This band seems to care primarily about sheer heaviness, whether it's fast or slow. A real grindcore fan will love this album, especially considering this band hadn't already set a bar for themselves, as this was the first thing they've ever released. Honestly, the majority of this album is just complete sludge and really bridges the gap between punk and metal. However, I think that as a fan of both, I can really satisfy both cravings with just this one album. It's really hard to come down on this album too hard, seeing as how there's no real other material to compare it to. I guess I could have used a bit more range vocally though. I find that the screams never really leave that one tone, and the lows are pretty well non-existent. I find a band like Nails can have high and low screams, while never leaving that intense heaviness. Now, as I was saying, these kind of vocals get kind of repetitive, and after a while, but all in all, I mean, it's still a very solid album. I consider this a great first attempt. Another entirely subjective criticism, though, is that I kind of wish the album stayed on track with a more straight-up grindcore feel, rather than dabbling too much in the new school hardcore type of drum fills that I can sort of imagine a bunch of people hardcore dancing to. It's not really for me, but again, it's not a bash of the band at all. It's still great for what it is, and I can still see myself enjoying this album time and time again. Out of a 1 to 10, I'd give this album a 7.5, being a really solid grindcore album with still some room for improvement. So I guess that wraps it up for this review. Let me know in the comments what you thought. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Was I fair on it? Which album do you think I should review next? I mentioned that I'll be releasing my Nails review very soon, so keep a lookout for that. But until next time, take care.